Hi, Taylor T. Carlson, and it's video time again. I just did my first video for unboxing my MCU Steelbooks of the 4K releases, and today we're going to be doing part 2, which is phase 2 of the MCU, the next 6 films in the series. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First off, starting off phase 2, we have Iron Man 3. One of the first films that really dealt with the fallout from what happened in the first Avengers movie. This movie got a lot of flack for its infamous plot twist. I won't go into the details here, although honestly I actually enjoyed that element of this movie. It might even be my favorite of the 3 Iron Man solo movies, even though I know my opinion there is in the minority. Here's our Blu-ray disc. Here is our 4K disc. On the inside we got this great artwork of the Iron Man armor just lounging around. Next up, Thor: The Dark World. Honestly, not one of the more beloved films in the MCU, but the scenes of Thor and Loki together are some of my personal favorites, and it still manages to pack in a few pretty good scenes and moments despite it all. It's just a shame this one ended up getting slapped with an unmemorable villain and not really the most memorable plot either. Here's our Blu-ray disc. Here's our 4K disc. And here we've got Thor wielding Mjolnir, of course, because what else would he be doing? Next up, and one of the best films to come out of Phase 2, this is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Of course, the movie that develops its titular villain, who ends up having a pretty strong bearing on the MCU from here on out, as one of its most memorable characters, of course, played by Sebastian Stan. And here we have our Blu-ray disc. Here's our 4K disc. And inside here we got a pretty interesting looking battle going on. Next up, and another personal favorite, Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the one that really took everyone by surprise because most of the previous films had revolved around better known characters, but here they really took a chance on an obscure B-rate property, and surprisingly they struck gold and it ended up being another hit for the house that Marvel built, and now these characters have become fan favorites. Inside we got the lineup when they go into the space prison in the film, so pretty funny scene there. And then we get what Phase 2 is leading up to, and this is Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, a lot of people have bashed this film, and admittedly, it's not really my favorite of the team-up movies, but Ultron himself, voiced by James Spader, I think is one of the best things about this film. It's got way too much going on, but it still manages to do quite a bit in its runtime and still stand as an entertaining film despite its flaws. Probably the biggest addition in this movie is that it introduces Scarlet Witch, played by Elizabeth Olsen, of course, the younger sister of the Olsen twins, and then of course, we have the introduction of Vision, formerly the AI called Jarvis, played by Paul Bettany. And both of those characters are now a central point of the WandaVision TV series. Here's the inside of this one. Got all the armors flying around. And Phase 2 did not stop there. We got one more movie that ended up being a rather pleasant surprise, and that's Ant-Man. The movie that introduces Paul Rudd as the title character, the role he was born to play. And great supporting cast, including the likes of Michael Douglas and Michael Pena, who pretty much makes the audience laugh in every single scene he's in. When I saw this movie at an advanced screening in a theater when it came out several years ago, every single scene Michael Pena was in, the audience was in stitches, myself included. There's our Blu-ray disc. And there is our 4K disc. Here's the inside, featuring a small Ant-Man bonding with an ant. I actually had an earlier Blu-ray Steelbook of this movie, which was actually in the form of a computer mainframe with a hole in it with a small Ant-Man inside. I kind of wish they would have went for that again, although this movie poster art isn't half bad either. Are you a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Do you own any of these movies in 4K? What's your personal favorite, and what do you think of the transfers if you have them? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to my channel for more content, and give this video a like if you found it helpful or interesting. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. See you next time.